one topic that I don't want to forget to talk about, and I kind of love this topic and hate this topic. I love getting money, but I hate asking for it. How do you go about approaching the client for that down payment? I mean, come on, guys. It's really hard. You talk to them, they want you. You got them booked, but they haven't made that deposit. And I've seen some, kind of sly things that people do to try to get their money, but I want to know what you guys do.
I'm going to let Howie, you chime in on this one first, because I've been going first, but you kind of chime in on this one first, and then you can come back to me. Go ahead.
I have actually honestly never had a problem with that because I'm really open and upfront. I have no secrets. I have nothing to hide. And I just let them know right away that how much. The first question they usually ask is how much, and then when you're further in on the conversation, oh, I want this upsell or whatever, and I said, okay, all I require is a signature on this contract and a deposit, but I need that deposit, or there's no contract, I'm not saving that date.
Well, I'm not saying that you have anything to hide or anything, but I mean, do you have any tricks or anything that you do to make that second contact with them if they haven't made the deposit yet and you want them to save the date? I mean, that's what you want. You want to save the date for them. You don't want
when I meet with them with the contract that they want to sign me, that if they're sincere, they're gonna put the down payment down right away, whether they want to send it in PayPal, or they want to write me a check or give me cash and I'll give them a receipt. That happens, or there's no contract. I'm not saving the date. But once I get that face-to-face meeting, I get a lot of shoppers, a lot of tire kickers.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can get them to meet in person at the coffee shop, it's a done deal. It's a done deal because I'm bringing in the contract and they're bringing in the money, and they know that up front.
Yeah, it must be Floridians, right, Scott?
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring something up to both of you guys. And I had a lawyer go back over my contract here a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago. And he's looking at my contract. He says, deposit, deposit, deposit. He looked at me. He goes, you paid me to check this out. You know what you paid me? You paid me a retainer.
Right. I was gonna correct myself later. Thank you so much, Scott. Yes, it's a retainer, because once I start doing work for them and putting playlists together, that's time.
Yeah,
and they're not getting that money back if they cancel.
Yeah, and he said they can take you and fight you in court and get the deposit back, because deposits can be refunded in certain circumstances. Yes. And I'm looking at him like, I thought it was the same thing. He said, no. On a legal standpoint, retainer, and you still put retainers are non-refundable, because your average consumer does not know that. It's bold on my contract. The other thing I do is, of course, I deal with brides that want to do email. And what I do is I'll do the contract, and then I'll send it to them as a PDF file. I will list on the contract that it's sent as an email by a PDF file. That legally sets me so they know that contract's been sent electronically. It covers me. It's a way of doing that. They will sign it, okay? They will scan it, send it back to me. Okay, a lot of times I'll have them mail it back to me along with a retainer. I say, I cannot hold your date. I cannot lock your date down. I must receive them together. They are to be united. So when you put that contract in the mail along with the check or cashier's check, it must be together. I've had them send me, well, I sent you the contract back. No, that's great. I'm glad you did that, but that does not hold it. I've had them pay me through PayPal. Now that is boom. That is, I'll walk in on that, but I still tell them I need the contract back. I've had that problem with committees. If I do a class reunion, the committee will hem-haw around. Well, I got your contract signed. I said, you need to get the committee first and foremost to pay me. The other thing I do, and I don't know whether you guys do this or not, I will tell the bride, there's a lot of things going on the day of the wedding, okay? The worst thing you want to do is chase after your final payment. That is the worst thing, and I've had to do that. So that final meeting is the final payment as well. I haven't had anybody really challenge me on it, because I do tell them that. I say, look, there's a lot of things happening the day of your wedding. And the worst thing, I gave it to Aunt Marge. She didn't give you the check? No, ma'am. Oh, I've had them at the end of the wedding. They were so intoxicated that they could barely write. I had one try to write me a check one time, and I'm trying to.
No.
Nah.
I'm from Jersey. It's way different. You want to tip Robin about how to get your money? Move to Jersey.
Yeah.
Give it to us, Howie. Let's
and the boys in to pick it up.
No, not that at all.
Joking.
People know how things work here. I've actually had clients ask me, how much do you need for a deposit? And when you say, look, I need the final payment, 30 days before, fine if they want to send me a check, and as long as that check clears, but I am not taking a check the day of the event. And for some reason, like he said, Aunt Mabel was writing the check and she was drunk and she has buyer's remorse and puts a hold on it. Well, then you're into a fight. No, that don't happen in Jersey.
Wow. See, that's a great word of advice right there to everybody, and I think a lot of people, and see, I do on my retainers, I don't know what you guys do on them, I do 50%. Some people don't tell me why. I've done 50% for probably 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
I've got 50%, I'm 50% invested into you guys. I'm going to do a lot of things between now and your event or your wedding. I'm going to do those things. Yeah, there's a lot of planning coming in together with this. So that's why I do 50%. Some people do 25. I go right down the middle with it, and that's just me. I don't know, Howie, if that's something that you do.
It varies with the people, because I'm fortunate enough that I know half of my clients. So I've either done events for their friends or events for a committee of some sort that was a one large social gathering. My gosh, I got 5 weddings out of it, and I already knew the people, so I was comfortable taking a third. And then it's a year off, and then okay, in 6 months I need another third, and then boom, a month before I need the final payment. And
there you go.
they even took the initiative and asked, well, how about we make the first down payment, and can we just budget it so that we can pay you monthly? And I was like, well, of course. And they would, they're 12 months away, and they're giving me $100 every month until, and it winds up sometimes I'm paid in full 3 months ahead of time.
That happened to me here 2 weeks ago. Somebody had to finally, we got the rest of your money. Where can we meet? And I'm thinking going, okay. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I better get it, because they may not have it to give me 2 weeks before the wedding. Yeah. We might be in trouble here. And I've got a 25%. If I got to bill you for that balance, it's on my my contract that there is a 25% fee for me having to send you an invoice and bill you. I've had that happen to me one time in probably 20 years, and it's never happened to me because when they seem to pay attention to that, I make sure, and I hate doing that. And I don't know, Robin, if you've ever had to do it. Florida is a type of state. Sometimes I do destination weddings, and I don't want to chase nobody down at all. I don't like having to do that. I don't like having to threaten to, break it, send a loan shark after you or whatever to get my money.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to discuss, contacting them and reserving the date, because a lot of the brides down here, or even regular events, they just like stretch it out for so long. And
yeah.
I'm contacting them by messenger, hey, how's it going? Don't forget, that type of message. You may not have thought about it lately. I mean, you can't, you have to be nice about it without being pushy. And I don't like to seem pushy. I've seen people posting little sneaky memes on Facebook. It's like, reserve your date. And I think I know what they're doing because I've done it. They're posting that for their brides or whatever that are on their website that see their post, reminding them to pay their, deposits, or, excuse me, I wrote it down, retainer. I'm not going to forget that. I've got to write that in there and change that. That's a good nugget there.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
I posted that myself before because I had a bride that's just like, I'm getting to it. I've got to talk to so-and-so. I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to talk to so-and-so. And we just haven't, finished everything, and we have to have this. And she had an excuse, she wanted me. And I told her, I want to make sure I save that date. Even though it was several months off, I didn't want to take a chance. It was special to me. Her wedding was too.
Mm-hmm.
It was special to me. I've already talked to her about it. I invested my emotions into it already.
mm-hmm.
And we really connected well. And I wanted to make sure that she put a deposit so I can continue working, do the monograms and everything else beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do those things last minute. I don't want to wait till a month before. And I'm not going to wait if somebody else comes up and puts a retainer. I got it. Puts a retainer, on their on that date. I'm not going to hold it for them, and I'm going to make an enemy, I think. And I really don't want to make an enemy. I'm just that type of person because I've already talked to you. We've already connected, and I feel like we're kind of friends now. And they're usually I have them join my Facebook page or whatever, and I don't want them to feel like I dumped them or something.
Do any of you guys take credit cards? Do you take credit cards, Howie? Do you take credit cards when someone books you? That's another thing within that. We probably need to just throw that in there shortly about it.
Yeah.
And you charge, do you charge them? Do you pass the fees? Because they charge most like Square is like 2.75%, which is $2.
I don't do any of the nickel and diamond stuff, whether it's PayPal or credit card. It's like I already know I'm charging enough, and if it's a $30 fee or something for the whatever amount, it's like that's just to me cost of doing business. It's like putting gas in the car.
That's part of doing business. I just think that's a professional way. If you start nickel and diamond people, then they get a bad taste in their mouth. That gets around. It's kind of like shopping for tires, and you see an ad and it's like $39.95 for a tire, and it's like no. I want the out the door price. And that's what I give my people. I'm not charging for balancing and new stems and for disposal and recycling fees. Hey, listen, this is your out the door fee. Total, done, over with. If I get hit with a service charge, I get that.
Yeah.
That's a good point because, and to myself, because, I've had them come to me and say, well, your competitor charges a setup fee. And I said, well, that's not me.
No.
This is all included in the price
Right.
of the quote that I'm giving you. This is not an estimate. This is the actual quote of what I'm giving you based on the hours you've told me. And I think that between all of us here, that is a great idea with that. So just, yes.
I prefer cash, but PayPal is nice also. PayPal, I've had a lot of luck with it. Most people are connected with PayPal.
Right.
And it's easier talking to them PayPal, how to do it by PayPal. And I don't have to.
I'll tell you a secret before we end here. With the PayPal and the credit cards or whatever other payment methods, the reason that I do the final payment a month out is because if they were to give that to you a week ahead of time, they can file a claim with PayPal and say, I wasn't satisfied with that service, and PayPal will freeze your account. But if it's over 30 days, it's too late. They can't file a claim.
Yeah, I'm not waiting to the last minute.
I think it's 30 days. I could be wrong on that, but I structure it where everything is cleared. If it's a check, the check didn't bounce, we're good to go. But I honestly haven't had a check in years. Everybody's going digital now.
Yeah, well, and that's the way they're doing.
Yeah.
I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And if you're hanging out, well, stick around and hang out with us. In the after show, we're going to have a little hangout. So stick around. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Howie.